Hello everyone. I've always heard this phrase that people in science say, which goes, correlation does not imply causation. It's an interesting mouthful, to be fair, so it has always stuck in my mind without my actually understanding the full of it. Some questions did keep popping up though. 1. What exactly are correlation and causation? 2. Are they so similar that people went on mistaking them for the other? They do kinda sound the same. And 3. If I were to mistake them, what would happen to me? Recently, I've got the opportunity to delve into that topic a little further and actually found some very fascinating nuggets of information that I'd like to share with you today. This video thus relates to statistics, quite a technical field, but I'll try to show how it's relevant to you. What I'd like to explain are the different ways confusion between correlation and causation in understanding information can affect your own life. I'll make a start by catching everyone up on how correlation is different from causation. In this example diagram, what's probably the most eye-catching is the similarity in the graphs for ice cream purchases and sunburn cases. Their figures both rise and peak in the summery months of June, July, and August, and descend in the other months. This is something we call correlation, which means there exists a statistical relationship between the two variables. Causation, on the other hand, is stricter in that one event is responsible for the happening of another one, or in simpler terms, an effect occurs because of a cause. In our case, the causation does not come from either of the two factors that we talked about, but a third one, the heat. Sunny weather makes people want ice cream more, and unfortunately also get sunburned more. Nevertheless, many may ignore this additional piece of data and conclude prematurely that ice cream sales cause people to become sunburned. That's not to say correlated relationships can never be causal, but the fact is that correlation does not imply causation, so hasty judgments like those constitute logical fallacies. You're probably falling asleep, so let's take what we've known in a more light-hearted direction. Have a look at this joke. The wrongful deduction of the manager led him to think that becoming bald equals more transactions. You see how silly actions may arise due to misunderstanding? Comical value aside, consequences can be serious. Make such decisions and you might lose your hard-earned money first of all. A logical cause may not be the leading one, and higher expenditure on it won't be fruitful. For instance, in social media marketing campaigns, hiring more content writers might not work if it's the trending music featured that attracts the most engagement. Alarmingly, being taken in by ingenuine causations marketed by companies trying to sell perfect items will harm you further. Concerning mental health specifically, YouTuber Gooden tried a $299 Mandy headband that claimed to train your brain. I've had his experience with this product cut from a longer video of his, so I've left the link to his product tryouts in the description. Here are the cuts.
I don't know how to make myself focus more. Whoa, I did it. Oh, I suck now. Don't get me wrong, I love that I'm getting stars, but I don't know what I'm doing. Code. Just as I suspected, my score went up incrementally every single day. 58 to 64 to 68 to 71 to 79 to 86. Despite the fact that I wasn't even trying to do any of what the app told me to do, my brain was getting better and better every day the more I used. I would love it if I could put a piece of plastic on my head and never have anxiety again. But I worry that because it's so clear how hit or miss these devices are, that maybe there might be some placebo effect.
The results under a session indicate that your brain became enlarged because the score recorded by the device rose. Simply untrue. The placebo effect, as Mr. Gooden mentioned, can be the real causation here. Secondly, as science followers, we may be misled by unfounded research findings. This can create myths believed by generations. One case all too familiar is that if you sleep without turning out the lights, nearsightedness will be much more likely. The study Myopia and Ambient Lighting at Night, led by Quinn, seems to prove that causation, seeing the strong correlation that the more lights left on, as the rows darkness, night light, and full room tell us, the worse the eyesight. That is, however, disproved with a similarly titled experiment conducted by Zadnik and colleagues a year later. Of course, sometimes correlation are the only links available. We should not ignore these, as they can be the key to important breakthroughs. One proposed solution then is to conduct statistical hypothesis testing to see whether the data is sufficient to support our assumption. My university major is not math related in any way, so I don't really understand the specifics, but there's a Wikipedia link below for all of you with brains wired for this kind of stuff.
Wikipedia? You're using Wikipedia as your source of information?
My final point refers to our day-to-day activities. I believe a lot of you believe in tie items for good luck. I'm the same way. Well, that may not disrupt much unless we try to force them into our every activity. Drastic but baseless measures such as squeezing in a 6-member group without a teacher's permission just because 7 is lucky will probably engender punishment. Let's test you a little bit. For any two correlated events, A and B for example, there are 4 possible relationships. A. Direct causation, A causes B. B. Reverse causation, B causes A. C. Common causation, C causes both A and B. And D. No connection and the correlation is a coincidence. For the group member situation I just mentioned, which causal relationship is the most possible? Think about it. For me, it's most likely D, because there's no statistical significance that things with 7 components can succeed more easily. I promise this tangent won't go much further, but remember that these relationships are not mutually exclusive. They may exist in any combination. Now, where were we? Right. Previously, I talked about how you can miss a third unseen factor, so a wrong direction between the original 2 can be problematic too. Like when you wish to score a higher grade by studying with a friend. Sure, people who review lessons together seem to be better academically, but you must understand that it may well be the other way around. It is people excellent at schooling who will flock together. If you and your study mates are both terrible at that subject, more often than not you hit a brick wall. Now, in a few words, correlation and causation are interrelated but simultaneously quite distinct concepts. As per my previous arguments, thinking one is the other can be quite destructive for your wallet, your scientific integrity, and your life at large. How can I avoid it? One might ask. Implementation is not easy, but consider these 5 words. Think logically through every relationship. Thank you for reaching this far, and I'll see you next time.